Yes, online students, I believe I'm audible, right? Yes. Okay, can we start? All right. Chalo. So, these are the few news that we will, just a minute. Yes. Every time this messes up. These are the 5 news that we will see. First is the securities transaction tax. Now, in some of the batches, of course, the tax structure is not done. But whenever we do this tax structure, we come across a direct tax, that is securities transaction tax, wherein we probably discuss that this may be a draconian tax, right? So finally, what has happened is someone has filed a case against the securities transaction tax. So the applicability of this tax is now being challenged. So we will see on what grounds have they filed this securities transaction tax, what is it, what are the issues, so on and so forth. Next is the very large gas carrier VLGC Shivalik. So this is basically the third very large gas carrier that is being now commissioned in India. So what are these very large gas carriers? These are basically big ships, 82 meters long ship, right? So the length of a complete full length football field is the size of that particular ship. So what they carry, what gases they carry, what it does for India and its shipping industry is what we will discuss. Next is the Vikasit Bharat Buildathon 2025. Now till 2047 we will keep on hearing this word Vikasit Bharat, Vikasit Bharat. So we have to bear with that. So Buildathon for 2025 has been or is being conducted, wherein students from 6th to 12th standard will be showcasing their innovation capabilities. So we'll discuss what that is, what that means. Next is the expansion of National Agricultural Market, ENAM. Now it is in news, not much of an expansion, but expansion nonetheless. What they have done is they have added 9 additional commodities in the National Agricultural Market. So now the total number of commodities comes to around 247 or something. Okay? And then the last one is a small news about microfinance loan defaults. They have surged in 2024-25. Now remember, even though they have increased, they are not too high. Their percentage is still around 7%, 7.8% depending on different states. 6.5 to 7.8% is what they range. Can you guess which is the state which will have highest amount of default quantitative wise? Yes, the state of Bihar. We discussed in one of our current affairs, highest unemployment is there, highest amount of poverty is there, highest amount of microfinance related default is also there. Out of the 2.3 lakh crore rupees that are defaulted, around 57,000 crore, means close to 20% is from the state of Bihar. Okay? Having said that, let's start with the securities transaction tax. So first let's understand what is this tax. This tax is applied whenever you trade in securities, right? So when you buy a security, let's say for example a share, when you buy a share, you will be taxed. When you sell a share, you will be taxed again. Now the issue is, it is independent of the fact whether you make profit or loss. If you make profit, then also you will tax, but even if you make loss, then also you will be taxed over here, right? So what can be the reason that government will apply this kind of tax? Securities transaction tax, we trade in shares. So whenever you buy a share, you are taxed. Whenever you sell share, you are taxed. Why does the government want to tax us every time? Right? What can be the rationale? Yes, what can be the rationale? Decrease the amount of money withdrawn. Okay. See, one reason is speculative trading should reduce. The government wants to reduce speculative trading. Speculative trading means you are not investing in the share of the company and the future of the company. Let's say you are doing intraday trading, because every day, let's say this is the graph of the share. So over a period of year, this is the increase. So you have to remain invested in a sustained manner. In fact, if you look at a day's graph also, it is increasing, but during the day, the graph can be something like this. So a lot of ups and downs will be there in the graph. Since a lot of ups and downs will be there in the graph, what will happen is you will try to invest money when the share price goes down, and the moment it goes up, you sell it off and exit the market. So did you earn the money because of the fundamentals of the company got improved, the valuation got improved, the companies got more projects? Nothing like that. You are basically speculating that today it has started less, or today it has started high, it is going to fall down. The moment it falls down, after opening of the Sensex, I will invest, and as soon as it increases some amount, I will withdraw. So that is speculative trading. So the government wants to curb speculative trading. Whenever someone is doing speculative trading, investing for short period of time, they will keep on doing multiple times in a month. So Mahindra and Mahindra share, in a month they will be buying and selling maybe 10-20 times. So what will happen is every time they will be taxed. So to deter from people to invest, to keep on trading speculatively, the government came up with securities transaction tax. Okay? So that makes sense. But at the same time, it does not make sense that when you want to tax us so as to avoid speculative trading, why are you taxing? Then what you should do is probably have a time frame, right? Short term, you can have, in a month if you are trading more than this number of time in the same share, or some other parameter, right? Someone who is invested in that share for 3 years, right? It's a long-term investment. Now withdrawing the money even at a loss, even that person is being taxed. Why is that the case? At least in that case it should not happen. So you should not be applying it in a blanket manner, but you are doing that. And another thing is, the government is sustaining with it is because this securities transaction tax, the taxes collected through this has doubled in the last few years. From around 24,000-25,000 crores, now it is 44,000 to 45,000 crore rupees. Why? Because the number of trading is increasing, the retail traders are increasing. Now it is accessible digitally on our phones, and even school, college going children are trading in securities. So every time they are buying or selling, securities transaction tax, it is generating good amount of revenue to the government. That is the story about securities transaction tax. So what has happened? It has been challenged now. So Supreme Court has issued notices on the plea that is challenging securities transaction tax's constitutional validity. The plea has said that it is constitutionally not valid. So what are the claims of the petitioner? The petitioner says that it violates Article 14, that is right to equality. Right to equality. Equality means I am someone who is earning from the securities transaction. You are earning through something else, right? When I gain some income through the securities transactions, I am paying income tax. You are also paying income tax. But over here, since you are charging me again, so what is happening is basically that is double taxation that you are implementing on me. Okay? And then there are other things also. Let's say Article 19(1), right to trade and profession. I have the right to trade. I have a right to carry out a profession. So why specifically my profession as a trader is being discriminated by someone else's profession of doing something else? Okay? Someone else's profession of doing something else. Okay? Another argument you can use is, you also have futures market. You have also futures market wherein the commodities are also traded. Now in that there is no securities transaction tax. So a trader in cereals, in food grains, in gold, in silver, commodity, you have derivatives who derive their value through the underlying commodity, right? What about them? Also the issue is the percentage of tax is different on different securities. So all these inequality is what is being talked about. Supreme Court has not taken any discussion or judgment. We'll see what comes out of it. The third is right to live with dignity. Now, where is this right to live with dignity is coming from? Yes? The right to live with dignity basically, when you tax me more multiple times, the small earnings also, especially this is focused on the point wherein I am making losses. So even though I am making losses, you are still taxing me. So you are making me difficult to live with dignity, means to take care of my basic things, you are making it even more difficult because it is being taxed even during losses, even during the losses. Now, especially these three articles that has been used is also known as the golden triangle. It is known as, remember this, maybe this question may be asked, it is known as the golden triangle of the Constitution. So where is it written that it's the golden triangle? The Supreme Court in the Menka Gandhi case, in the Menka Gandhi case is there, it is quite prominent in your polity book, it is there. Supreme Court in the Menka Gandhi case talked about these three articles being the golden triangle of the Constitution, and they should not be read independently of each other. You should read it together with each other's context, and hence they form the golden triangle of the Indian Constitution, a prelims fact which you should probably remember. So basics of STT I have already talked about. Basics, transactions on the listed stocks, they are different on different types of stocks. On shares it will be different, on let's say equity share it will be different, right? Different on bonds it will be different. So depending upon the security, if it's a mutual fund it will be different, the percentage may vary. Also it is actually a very small amount of tax. So 0.1%, 0.01%, 0.06% is the degree of tax that will be there. It is levied when you are buying or selling the shares, derivatives, equities. Irrespective of the profit or loss, it will still be implemented. Key claim of the petitioner we have seen, double taxation. So I am being taxed now, I will also be taxed when I earn money from it. So that is double taxation. See, if we look at it, taxation is anyhow a lot, but then the indirect taxations are involved. Here there is direct taxation 2 times. You are implying direct taxation 2 times. 2 times direct taxation is there. Direct taxation comes to us only once. Is that clear? Everything else is indirect tax. Okay? Here direct tax is coming 2 times. So STT, it is having double taxation, viewed as a deterrent to free trade, makes the free trade difficult. All those arguments applied even when the losses are being made. Okay? Violation of the fundamental right to livelihood, equality, all those things have been argued. I have to live, I have to earn my source of living. You are making it more difficult to me rather than facilitating me to earn my livelihood. Also there is no refund or adjustment like there is in the mechanism of TDS. Okay? So the concept of TDS, in TDS what happens is, if there is extra tax that is deducted at source from your salary, you can file for a refund. You can file for a refund. Those kind of provision does not happen, that you have sold it but you may have made loss. There is no refund that you can ask for. How can you make loss? You might, when you sell a mutual fund back, when you sell a mutual fund back, you don't know exactly at what price it will be sold, because at the end of the day the transaction will be effective. However, there is a provision that you can have a range at which you want to sell the shares, even shares. So when you are selling a share, that share is presently at 520 rupees. So what you can do is, you can put a sell option here and say that I am okay to sell it at 521 or 520.5. Now till the time this criteria is reached, your share will not be sold. It will only be sold if this criteria is reached. So if throughout the day this criteria is not reached, the share remains unsold only. So you can control the selling of the share. Okay? Clear? Any doubts in securities transaction tax? Yes? Nothing? It's clear? Securities transaction tax. Next is the very large gas carrier Shivalik. So this you can see Shivalik is written here. This is the very large gas carrier Shivalik. It is approximately 82 meters long, right? What it carries is LPG, that is liquefied petroleum gas. Liquefied petroleum gas. What is liquefied petroleum gas? What does LPG consist of? It consists of propane plus butane. So it will have propane and butane. This particular ship that has been constructed, the VLGC, Very Large Gas Carrier Shivalik, is capable of basically carrying the LPG, which is nothing but a mix of propane and butane. It can also carry individually propane as well as butane before its mix. Also, this is also compartmentalized to have different storages at different in its different containers. Okay? And how can you carry the gas? It will be in a liquefied form. How do you convert it into a liquefied form? How do you convert a gas into liquid? By compression. Basically by putting pressure on it. So when gas is given a very high pressure, it gets converted into liquid. Right? Now since it gets converted into liquid, anyhow compartmentalization is necessary. Okay? Compartmentalization for carrying a liquid is necessary as per physics. Now why is this necessary is, you might have seen petroleum trucks. You know, petroleum trucks come at where? These petrol pumps. So if you look at the top view of the petroleum tank, there is an opening here, there is an opening here, and there is an opening here. So this is how the truck is designed. It is not that it is completely single opening. Now why is that the case? G? Why compartments are made? Why compartments are made? Compartments are made, yes. What happens is it's liquid. It is going to move from here to there unless and until it is completely filled, it's going to move. When it moves, what will happen? Huh? Very good. So there is a term C. So if it is in a single compartment not fully filled, it is going to shift from one place to another. That will shift its center of gravity. That will shift its center of gravity. Because of the shift of center of gravity, the truck may topple. Right? So what you do is you compartmentalize it. When you compartmentalize it, no matter how much it shifts, a part of it will still remain here, a part of it will still remain here, a part of it will still remain over here, which is going to balance and ensure that the center of gravity of the ship does not, of the container does not shift by a high amount. The moment the center of gravity shifts, it will topple. Okay? So to avoid the shifting of the center of gravity, you basically compartmentalize. So any liquid carrier is there, it will anyhow be compartmentalized. So same compartmentalization is there in the ship also. One reason is because that is liquid, center of gravity should not change. Second reason is different, either this in its pure form or a combined form of LPG. All three things it can carry together. And LPG, as we know, is odorless. Okay? In our cylinder, the odor is added additionally so that when the gas is leaked, we are aware that the gas is leaked, but LPG as such is odorless. Okay? So now after inducting this particular ship, of course it will lead to, again, these words you should use in your answers: Atmanirbharta. Anything that you come across, you can write, it will lead to Atmanirbharta. Atmanirbharta means self-dependence. You are not dependent on someone else. So it will further the goal of Atmanirbhar Bharat in the shipping sector. Energy trade connectivity. India's maritime energy security means the energy that is coming through the ocean, the oceanic region. It gives us security because it is our vessel that we are using. Sorry, it's 225 meter long. It's actually what? This is 82,000 is something else. 82,000 is its capacity. Okay? 225 meter long, so basically it is twice the football field is what we were saying. It is more than 2 times the football field. Right? It is designed to carry LPG, which is a mixture of propane and butane, and it can also carry them separately as well. And LPG is what? It's a mixture of propane and butane. These are its formula. You don't have to as such remember. This is propane and this is butane. You can see that they are having very high amount of energy. This entire thing is going to burn to give you energy. Okay? Segregated tanks. are present, as I have already told you. Advanced temperature control setting. Temperature should be controlled so that, because it has been forcefully put in a liquefied state, so the temperature has to be controlled. With higher temperature it can also ignite. Okay? It meets the global safety standards and efficiency standards, fair enough. Now it is being developed under the Indian flag in South Korea. What is this concept of Indian flag? There are two types of ships. One is Indian flagged vessel and a foreign flagged vessel. So here we are building an Indian ship in partnership with South Korea. So it is Indian flagged vessel. It belongs to India. We have built it for ourselves. At times we use foreign flagged ships also for transportation. And that happens. Why that happens is, whatever the ship comes, let's say foreign vessel ship comes, so whatever we are importing in the same ship we are going to export in order to create efficiency. Right, like the auto people, they come, they drop us, they will take another ride and go somewhere else. They will not go empty as such. Okay? Reduces the reliance on foreign flagged vessels. Okay? It is going to reduce it, but remember, once we have done the scrapping law of the ships, right, wherein they are saying that 20 years are done, scrap the ship. So that is going to hamper it. This is going to help, but that is going to reduce the fleet of the ship. Total 1500 ships we have, half of the ships will be gone if we apply that blanket rule. Next, strengthens the energy security, connectivity with the Arabian Gulf. Okay, all that thing is fine. Maritime self-reliance. Now there are other government initiatives for promoting local shipbuilding in India. So please study about some of the other developments as well. Okay? Let's come on to the next one, that is Viksit Bharat Buildathon. Okay. So in this Viksit Bharat Buildathon, first we need to know which ministry. Ministry of Education is involved. Then you have, I think, AIM. What is this AIM? AIM. Atal Innovation Mission. Atal Innovation Mission. This Atal Innovation Mission was launched in 2016. Right. So Ministry of Education, the Niti Aayog along with the Atal Innovation Mission are conducting this Viksit Bharat Buildathon. I think it started from 11th of October. Okay, so it's a 1 week, it's approximately a week long buildathon which is being conducted. What was the use of this Atal Innovation Mission? The government had come up with the Startup India, Stand Up India scheme. Then they started this Atal Innovation Mission, through which they provided incubation facilities to the startups, also an environment wherein innovation and creativity will develop. So under Atal Innovation Scheme, there were Atal Innovation Incubators. Incubators are basically technological term wherein you have an incubator to keep something alive, to grow something. Sometimes the babies are kept in incubators when there is premature delivery. So the baby is kept in incubator under controlled conditions where they develop. So it's the same concept for the startup, for the innovation ecosystem, wherein there will be incubators at respective places. In Bengaluru also you have incubators wherein you can, under certain schemes, get the opportunity to be with your team in that incubator to develop your or you grow your startups. So there you will get the facility of a small office, you will get the facility of various training sessions that will be arranged in the complex of that incubator so that your products can grow. That is what Atal Innovation Mission was doing, and that Atal Innovation Mission is involved over here. Why it is involved? In this Viksit Bharat Buildathon, basically lakhs of school and crores of students from the class 6 to 12 are going to participate with respect to showcasing their innovation, talent and skill. Now later on, now the buildathon is getting, now someone will win the prize. There are prizes in various categories. So whomsoever builds the prize, they will have showcase their innovation ability. So when this innovation is selected, then there is a possibility in the future that Atal Innovation Mission or the Ministry of Education or the Niti Aayog or the government is going to fund that innovation, make sure a prototype is developed of that innovation, and maybe if that innovation is good, it will lead to probably in future patents also. Right? So that is the benefit of this. That is the benefit of this entire exercise. From the students, you are generating new ideas which can convert ultimately into patented products. Okay? Now, this entire innovation and then this present Vikasit Bharat Buildathon will end with the prizes, but it will not end there. The selected things can later on be developed into patented products also. So that is the idea right from the beginning. They will be instilling the innovation ability among the children. Also, what it does is it creates a scientific environment. It creates an environment of research, of innovation and of creativity. So it leads to interest in the people to innovate, to create whenever you are in a competition, whenever you are given prizes. Similar concept was for Khelo India program, in which 11 million people were, in different schools, were basically having various competition in which the talents in the sports field was selected through Khelo India program. Through this program, the innovative and scientific temper and mind will be selected and these products will be selected. That is the idea. You already know who has launched it, who is conducting it. It aligns with, these are very generic statements, fair enough. Everything that is happening is aligning with the Viksit Bharat vision. You can write that. Target is, yes, 1 crore students from 1.5 lakh school from classes 6th to 12th. So what benefits it will come up with? Fostering creativity, innovation, problem solving skills among students, so on and so forth. It is basically having 4 themes: Atmanirbhar Bharat, Swadeshi, Vocal for Local and Samriddh Bharat. Atmanirbhar means independent. Swadeshi means the national product. Vocal for local, we all know, we want, yes, local products, right? Then Samriddh Bharat. Samriddh basically means more prosperous India. So prosperous India. So the innovations that you should be doing should be focused on these themes. In schools, there might be poster competition. They will give you a theme, independence. So your poster should be on independence. So now the theme is Atmanirbhar Bharat. So are you creating certain things which is so innovative, which will make us independent and our dependency on something else, a foreign product, may be low. Swadeshi, of course, it is made for raw materials which is completely sourced from within India. Raw material completely sourced from that particular region or the state or the urban or the rural area that you come from. And it is going to be, it can be commercialized in order to generate revenue for us. So these are the themes. See, basically you can do development in any area and then you can relate it to at least one of the things, because these themes are very broad. If nothing is fitting, Swadeshi can fit. You have sourced all the raw materials from India, Indian company. Local can fit. It is sourced within the state. It has all been grown within the state. Atmanirbhar Bharat, it is going to lower the dependency even if we are importing. Okay? And Samriddh Bharat, it can be commercialized. It is also a very big superset. Any innovation can in future anyhow be commercialized. When you will commercialize it, it will lead to more revenue, more prosperity for the country. So these are the 4 themes that are present. Okay? Clear? Student innovate together in world's largest, this is important, this will be world's largest live innovation activity. So all this will be live. Now live in the sense that, like you have in colleges also coding competitions, wherein you are given a problem statement, so coding is done live. So here whatever innovation is being there, they have to present that in a live format. So it will be live presented also by the students. Promotes hands-on experimental learning. This is good, aligns with the national education policy. See again, anything that is happening in the field of education, 1 point for mains is aligns with the national education policy. Right? Magazines are also writing these things now. But the issue is, if I ask you a question, does this align with national education policy, Christina? It does, we are writing it. How does it align with national education policy? Yes, skill. It aligns with a lot of things in fact. We have apprenticeship yojana. Our youth is not skilled. It is what? Hands-on training, hands-on skills, hands-on experiments, skill development, and the national education policy is focusing on skill development. Many times it is criticized also because of this, because national education policy came up with the concept of facilitating, you know, what do you call it as, after 10th you can do develop certain skill, become a plumber, become an electrician, vocational studies you can do. After 10th, become an electrician, plumber, start earning money. So that focus is also there in the national education policy. So developing a skill, because what is happening, the youth is getting educated, 12th standard, graduation, education is there, skill is not there, no employment. So chuck that education, develop a skill, get a job. So it is a good thing with respect to ending or reducing the unemployment, but the issue is you have not got educated enough, right? Your earning might be limited. The skills are not the skills of the white collar job. Majorly the skills that are promoted even in Skill India Mission are not white collar, they are brown collar jobs. White collar jobs are the jobs that you do inside an office in which your collar does not get dirty. You will not be entering the field and doing mechanical work, but here you will be doing mechanical work. Is that clear? And the income may also be limited, and the person is not educated enough. The person may not have more sense of the education or awareness about the society and other things. So you might be creating to an extent unaware citizenry, which though may have the job but may not have much awareness and may not have a higher growth prospect in the future. You have become a plumber. If you are doing plumbing throughout your life, it's only a certain amount you can earn unless and until you open your own business. That's a different thing altogether. Okay? So that is how it is in sync with national education policy. I have also told you the criticism of national education policy. Ensures inclusive participation, focusing on aspirational district, tribal and remote regions. So the selection of the schools also comes from these regions as well for the inclusive growth and the involvement of the children from various domains. Okay? Ignites and empowers young minds, creates innovation culture, strengthens Atmanirbhar. These are repetitive points which we are seeing here. Okay? So this is important. 2.5 lakh school, target is 1 crore. 6th to 12th is what is important. They may not ask this, but 6th to 12th is important, and the 3 organizations that are involved. Okay? Class 6 to 12th, not the age. Okay? So 6 to 12th means what? Around 10, 11 years to 17, 18 years will be there. Okay? Write down next. We are not writing it down anything. You will get this PPT. Expansion of the national agricultural market, that is ENAM. So as I said, what has happened here is they have added 9 commodities, as a result of which the total tradable commodities now are 247 instead of 238. Okay? So let's understand first what is ENAM. What is ENAM? We have finished the agriculture chapter. You are not studying at all, yes? G? That's the full form. I am asking what is ENAM? Yes, Abadai, what is ENAM? You always give good answers, so please. Yes, what is ENAM? You are regular but you don't answer.
Sir, should
Yes. Yes, Ashwin, please go ahead. I am hearing you after a long time.
it is a unified national market
Okay.
for agricultural commodities, sir. It connects farmers directly to the national market, and it also integrates the APMCs, that is the mandis.
Yes, mandis. So yes, so basically mandis. Now this particular ENAM under the mandis, the APMC model APMC Act is there. We had discussed in the classes. 22 states have implemented that. Now there are total 23 states that have implemented that, plus all the union territories have implemented that. So this is a unified market. Basically at the end of the day, this is a portal. It's a portal which showcases the different prices that are prevailing in the different markets. So what is the use of this? The use of this is that when the farmer grows something, they need to sell it. Now they do not have all the logistics of transportation, of storage, and they don't own the vehicle, labors, etc. They will take these things on rent and they will have to sell it. They don't have the awareness of the market, the distribution network, the buyers, the sellers, the retailers and all that. So they just want to sell it off and get done with it. So you have the wholesale buyers who buy the produce from the farmers. Now these buyers buy the produce from the farmers at a very cheap rate, right? They buy it at a very cheap rate. So you have the concept of APMC, that is Agricultural Produce Market Committee. There is a model APMC Act. There is a model APMC Act. Why it is a model act? Because agriculture is a state subject. So the central government has given a model APMC Act which the state governments can replicate as per their need in their states. That is why it is just a model. Now under this APMC Act, there are various mandis that are present. Now these are the mandis wherein buying and selling of the agricultural produce will take place, wherein the seller is the farmer, buyer is the whole registered buyer under that particular mandi. Now the issue with this is, as we have seen in our economic classes, the cartelization, because of which price realization is not there. The registered buyers may come together, collude together and decide a price, and they will not go beyond that price. So the farmer will not be able to realize the price that is there. Right? To resolve this problem, the government came up with the concept of Electronic National Agricultural Market, ENAM. Now in ENAM what happens, it is simply a portal. You can log on to that portal and see that all the mandis that are there in India, basically what are the prices of the different commodities in respective mandis, so that you can take a better decision to sell your product in that respective mandi. That is the concept of ENAM. The problem may still remain that in portal the price might be different, practicality the price on the grassroots level might be different, but at least it helps the government to monitor, it gives you better realization, some price realization or identification awareness will be there among the people. Now the government is integrating the two, and what it is doing is ENAM and APMC, it is trying to build more facilities, more mandis, trying to rationalize the fees, because even though through ENAM you may realize a better price for your produce, but there are certain other issues in the mandis. The issues are multiple fees that are present. So there are 247 crops. Now when a farmer sells, of course the farmer will not grow these many, but the farmer will grow at least 2 to 3 crops in different season. In certain mandis you have to register yourself as a seller with respect to each crop individually. So if you are a seller of rice, but you have come to sell wheat now, no, you have to register again, you have to pay the fees again. So the fees are not rational, multiple fees are levied. Though we have a unified market, still for different commodities, different fields are levied. You have around few crore farmers, and some we will see those data. It was launched in 2016, yes, that's correct, funded by the central government, implemented by Small Farmers Agri Business Consortium. Okay? Next beneficiaries are farmers, the mandis, the trade, the major beneficiary, the farmers, and also the traders or the buyers. Then you have the processors, the exporters. Many people will take the farm produce, they will export it. Many people will buy the farm produce, they will sell it to the mega food parks that are there, or to the processing units that are there. Then you have buyers and farmers. Buyers who are buying it from the farmers. Then there are also traders. Traders who will trade in this. You can also trade in the commodities. Okay? So trading in commodities, so on and so forth. What is the objective? The objective is to create a unified Indian national agriculture market. It is there to ensure the transparency, because all the details are available to everyone to see as to what is the price in different mandis. It will of course improve the efficiency. You know where the price is better, so you can directly visit that particular mandi instead of physically going and checking for different mandi prices. So efficiency increases. They are trying to assure quality. Quality assaying linked to pricing. What is quality assaying? Assaying is basically checking the quality. So in this mandis, you will find different prices for different varieties or quality of the product. Something which is missing in the MSP. Something that is missing in the MSP. In MSP, the MSP is not based on the quality. So what happens is the farmer will offload their worst quality product under the MSP and will sell the better quality product in the mandis if they get a higher price over there. Okay? It's a pan-India network. Yes, we have discussed this. Direct online payments can be done. Improve market access and information because it's online. Logistic and integrate. This is important. Logistic and integration support is provided. The state governments, when they create mandis, in mandis, not just buying and selling will happen. In mandis, you will be provided logistical support. For example, transportation. For example, handling. For example, the storage facilities. All these facilities will be provided to you in the mandis or the surrounding areas. So, and see, these things actually automatically gets created. Why automatically gets created? A farmer is coming. So if the farmer does not want to sell it, the thing needs to be stored over there, or the farmer wants to now take it to another mandi. So you will have all these services which will start percolating whenever a mandi is created. So these facilities are also there. Okay? Monitoring and the state level reforms. So monitoring, as we discussed, SFAC, it's at the national level, it's coordinated by SFAC. At the state level, the respective state departments and the supporting agencies. So the respective Department of Agriculture is going to provide the monitoring facility of these things. Okay? So ultimately, the state government has to monitor. Prerequisites for ENAM integration. Prerequisite means the basic necessity to integrate the ENAM. So you will have to have permit e-auction and electronic trading. This, what is this particular thing? In the ENAM, if you get to know that the price of rice is rupees 30 per kg, you can do the online transaction as well without physically taking it to the actual mandi. Okay? Why this is important? Because let's say mandi is situated somewhere here, the farmer is somewhere here, the buyer is somewhere here, and the buyer's distribution network is somewhere here, right? So you have to, or let's say mandi is actually coming in between. So what you have is, let's say mandi is situated over here. So the seller takes it to the mandi, the buyer comes to the mandi, the transaction takes place here, and the buyer takes it again over there. Instead of that, using the digital mode of payment, you can do digital transaction as well, and either the buyer can directly collect it from here, or the seller can take it to the place of the buyer, which will again create more efficiency in the system. Okay? Like we buy and sell things on OLX. So if we are buying some second-hand product from the OLX, or let's say from directly first-hand also, you want a vehicle, the seller is there, you go to the shop and take it. Why the seller has to reach to a common point and you reach to a common point which is far away from both your places, right? So that will create inefficiency. The transportation, loading, unloading, reloading, then unloading over here is going to be a big cost. If you do it direct, you load it, you unload it. In fact, over here, the buyer can have various vehicles, distribution vehicles ready. So what can happen is, the farmer can take their vehicle over here and then load it over here, then directly reload it in different vehicles of the buyers. So through this digital transactions and direct realization of the payment and buying and selling from the portal, you can do this. Now how this will be managed? Only those people who are registered buyers under the ENAM can buy it. So let's say you are a registered buyer, I am a registered seller. You have given, I am a registered buyer who is quoting this price. What is that price? The price is, let's say, rupees 30 per kg for rice, right? And so I sell you the rice at 30 rupees per kg. So on the portal, this entry has taken place in which I am selling you the rice at this much of amount, right? So what does this do is, this ensures that the transaction takes place. This ensures that you may not cheat me and I may not cheat you. If that happens, I can also file a complaint that you took this much of rice, this is the proof, but there is no payment, right? Payment proof you can give me if you digitally transfer it. So it facilitates digital transfer of the payments. At the same time, it facilitates transparency, because if there are various cases against a buyer, there is a possibility that the license may be stopped. Okay? So this is how the entire management can take place for the ENAM. They have talked about a lot of things. It will expand the market access, yes, and more commodities are also added. It complements with the free trade, complements with this agreement, because we are majorly good exporter of the agricultural produce. Okay? The last one, these are the different free trade agreements that we have signed actually. Global deals, growing reach. So these are the recent one, 2024 it started. We have now signed this also. I think we discussed in the last class, the EFTA. Okay? Next, this is a very small topic about the microfinance default. Microfinance default. This can be a very good fodder for your mains examination. So what we are seeing is, there has been a report by Sadhan, right? Sadhan means what? Sadhan. Yeah, this is so Shuddha Hindi, even I am thinking actually. Sadhan means any prop or any support. Any support that you get, sadhan. You know, let's say, does anyone know this sadhan? Yeah, I'll only have to tell. Sadhan. Let's say sadhan, mode of transport we say. What's the mode of transport? So basically when you say sadhan, a thing which facilitates us to do something, a thing which provides us a support system. If I want to go from here to Nagpur, aeroplane will be the sadhan, means aeroplane will be the mode of transportation. So it is a mode which is going to help me to execute a particular thing. That is what is meant by sadhan. Is that clear? That is what is meant by sadhan. So this organization sadhan, they deliberately wrote it because dhan here means money, right? So they have deliberately broken this word into two, but sadhan as such is nothing but a mode which facilitates you to carry on a particular task. That is what is a sadhan, right? So now they have come up with an annual Bharat Microfinance report in which the data is showing that rural borrowers fared the worst in terms of loan repayment. Of course, the source of income will be less, the amount of income might be less, they will be more poor, so there is more amount of delinquency or failure to pay that. Now, there are 2.3 lakh crore of loan outstandings that are there. 6.4% are there for more than 30 days. Okay. Next is compared to 6.1% and 6 for semi-urban, urban borrowers respectively. Alright. So 6.1% is for semi-urban, 6% for urban borrowers, but it is 6.4% for the rural borrowers. Now if you look at it, the difference is not much, but yes, you can try to remember that rural is worse. After rural there is semi-urban and then there is urban. So this much information you should know. One fine year UPSC has asked about, there was a survey that was done with respect to the land holdings. So they asked very detailed factual question. If it becomes too factual, you may have to leave it, but at least the knowledge of knowing that in microfinance rural has fared worse, then semi-urban, then the urban. So the increasing order, this order of default, rural is highest, then semi-urban and urban. So as you move from rural to urban, the default actually reduces is what the idea is. Now let's look at the rising default. So if you look at the rising default, the NPAs, the loans overdue by more than 90 days will be called as NPAs. So it jumped to 4.8% from 1.6%. Okay, so how much is the percentage increase here? G? The NPAs increased from 1.6% to 4.8%. So how much is the percentage increase? G? The percentage increase is 200%. It's 200%. 1.6%, that means out of 100 rupees, 1.6 rupees worth of default was there. Correct? Now out of 100 rupees, 4.8 rupees default is there. So if I ask how much is the jump, right? From 1.6 it has increased to 4.8. That means how much is the increase? Increase is 4.8 minus 1.6 divided by, it is a jump over 1.6. Is that clear? That means 3.2 over 1.6. 3.2 over 1.6 is what? Twice. If you want it in percentage, 200. Okay? So the increase in this percentage is by 200%. Right? A simple example would be in first exam, first test you scored, let's say in first test you score 16 marks. In second test you score 48 marks out of 100. This is out of 100. So by what percentage has your marks increased? By 200% it has increased. So it is very important when we are understanding is the percentage, absolute percentage increase is what they ask. Absolute percentage increase is 3.2, but relative percentage increase is 200%. Okay? Yes. So this is increased by 200%, that should be clear. If you look at regional insights, as I said, Bihar led it with around 57,000 crore of the microfinance NPA. Any question? Okay? Sure. So any questions, guys? This has shut down. It will start again. We'll quickly solve some questions on it. In the meanwhile, any questions you have? No? All of you are exhausted. You are not asking any questions. Yes, Christina? No, I am remembering her name. That's why I'm asking her. Yes, any question? Please ask me the doubt if it is there. Is it open or not? Nothing? Let's quickly try to solve the questions. The first two questions are quite factual, one single statement. If you have paid attention over here, you should be able to answer it. Yes, which of the following is a unique feature of the securities transaction tax in India that distinguishes it from other taxes like income tax? It is levied only on profits. Incorrect. It is applied irrespective of profit or loss on the transaction. Yes. It allows annual adjustment like TDS. It does not. It is applicable only to non-resident investors. No, it is applicable to anyone who is going to invest in the securities transaction tax. This is not. The VLGC Shivalik recently inducted under the Indian flag is primarily designed to carry LPG and propane butane. Basically, it's a combination of propane and butane. Viksit Bharat Buildathon aims to engage students from classes 6 to 12 across India to foster creativity, innovation, problem solving. Themes include, yes, both are actually correct. I think this is the last one we have. Yes. National Agricultural Market launched in 2016 to integrate mandis and enable transparent price discovery for farmers. Yes. States must implement reforms such as permitting e-auction and issuing a single trading license to participate in ENAM. Yes. If they want to participate in ENAM, see, must is not a compulsion. Compulsion is when you want to invest, you want to participate in e-national agriculture market. That's when you will have to provide permission for e-auction and issuing single trading license for ENAM. Single trading license. Single trading license means what? As I said, different commodity has different licenses, right? In the different mandis. So in ENAM, they are saying that you want to take part in ENAM, make sure that every buyer has a single license, every seller has a single license. The moment you get that license, you can sell whatever the 247 commodities that are allowed to be sold. Okay? Yes. Trade, हाँ बोलिए. Yes, yes, yes. As a farmer from the state of Karnataka, I can sell it in the mandi of Maharashtra. Single license. Yes, single license. Across mandis also. By the ENAM, the license for trading over the national agriculture market. So yes, the single license will be for all the commodities, plus for trading all across India, just one single license will be there, right? Is that clear? So single license, single for the entire commodity, and single for me to trade in different state also. Living at the border of Maharashtra, the next state, travel 20 kilometers, there is Madhya Pradesh. I want to trade in a different state. So one single license should be enough. Okay? Thank you. Yes. Any other questions? No? Sure. Thank you guys.
Coming out to this new term of NFO, which is basically new fund, public fund offerings only. Same as IPO. It's a mutual funds maybe how are they able to give out NFOs?
Mutual funds, how will be they?
There are certain mutual funds who are also giving out NFOs, so I didn't understand how to logic.
No, then that mutual funds will be investing in that initial public offering.
Okay, so the fund is collected for us.
Yes, yes. So what will then happen is, I am a mutual fund organization.